Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve a problem based on number of ways to fill a 4x4 grid with the letters T, A, L and C. Now we were given with a 4x4 grid and the diagonals are filled up with T, A, L, C in that order already. And there are 4 2x2 grids, each of which must contain all 4 letters T, A, L, C, and every row and column should have different letters, and you have to find the number of ways to fill up such a grid with these letters only. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so here is the 4x4 grid and you have the letters T, A, L, C already filled up in the main diagonal, and you are supposed to fill up the other cells using only the letters T, A, L and C. Now the rules are that each of the 4 2x2 grids must contain all 4 letters. And the second condition is that every row and every column should have distinct letters. Alright, so we can make an immediate inference out of the condition 2. What is that? Since there are only 4 possible letters that you can use and 4 cells in each column and a row, you can only use each letter exactly once. You cannot use it more, or even you cannot use it less than once. Otherwise, you have to repeat one of the 4 letters twice at least in order to cover up the 4 cells. So therefore, we can interpret the condition 2 as using all 4 letters in each and every row and column of the grid. Alright, now you can take some moment to think about this and you can come up with the number of ways to fill up the grid. Alright, in order to get started, I will fill up this cell with L. There are only 2 possibilities for this cell. It is either L or C because T and A are already present in this 2x2 grid. Well, if I start with L, you will observe some magic. Then the other letter in that 2x2 will be C, and if you think about this cell of the 4x4, you could see T and L are already present in that row, C is already present in that column, corresponding column. Therefore, that letter must not be T or L or C, implying that it must be A. So let's fill up with A. Similar argument goes here. T and C are already done and L is also present in the corresponding row. Hence, we will fill this up with A. So A is being filled up. Now you have 3 elements and 3 elements in the first column and the first row. Therefore, the 4th element must be the other one which is not these 3 letters. Hence, it must be L here and C here. So thus we have filled up the first row and the first column completely, and also the first 2x2 grid. Alright, now you have to chase the letters cleverly. Think about the cell that is just marked. You could see L is present and C is present in the corresponding row, and A is also present in the corresponding column, implying that the question mark should be replaced by T, because the letter should not be repeated in the corresponding row or column. This implies the last element of the bottom left 2x2 grid to be C. Okay, so now the last 2 rows can be completely filled, which makes us to have A here and T here, and we are only left with the 2 columns with exactly 1 empty cell each. So, we can easily identify the missing letter, which will be T and L respectively. Now, you see, filling this one letter or determining this one letter in the first row and second column position determines all the subsequent letters and completes the entire 4 cross 4 grid. That means choosing L for that will define the entire 4 cross 4 grid. And symmetric argument goes for C. Just replace L with C, you will get the unique grid you will have to think about the others now, but if you go in the same direction, that is this letter being A and this will be A, C, L, and here you go with T. So, this will be L, this will be T and this will be A, and here you have T and here you have C, and we have reached the end of the 4 cross 4 grid. So, therefore, the number of possible ways to fill up the grid is just the number of ways to fill up that first cell we started with, because it determines the entries in all of the cells. So, the entries for the first row second column cell are L and C. So, the number of ways to perform or fill up the 4 cross 4 grid is just 2. Now, this is where our intellectual thinking and the beauty or the aesthetic of the question comes into picture. So, we have to pay attention to the consecutive or the subsequent letters that we use to fill up the grid. They all are determined based on that one grid. This is a typical problem from our SuMON fortnight 25. So, we discuss lot of such interesting puzzle type questions that intrigues the student. We will meet you in the next problem solving video. Until then, stay tuned. Bye.